What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a nice 3-game college football slate for this Taco Tuesday. We also have one game of MLB. We got the Dodgers taking on the Brewers, I believe it is. So yeah, Dodgers versus Brewers. So nice day, really. I haven't been liking baseball as much, but I do want to say we're 1 week away from NBA, guys. Next Tuesday is opening day for NBA. If you've been in our Discord for a while, which a lot of people have, we have some OGs in there, 3 or 4 years, and you guys know it all started in NBA. So when NBA season opens up, it's like Christmas for me. I'm super excited about that. Best time of the year, and if you guys aren't in our Discord, I do want to say join right now. It is absolutely free to join. There's a link down in the description. I'll be dropping NFL and NBA plays throughout the week that are Discord exclusive. So I'll give my free picks as usual, and I'll also give a couple slips throughout the week for free in the Discord. So if you guys aren't in there, join now. I want to say that these college football videos, guys, are probably going to stop when NBA comes around. I'm still going to post college football plays in the Discord, but I'm not going to be making videos for college football unless it's just something that majority of you guys want. Saturdays, maybe I'll do the college football, but throughout the week, it's definitely going to be NBA. So if you guys have any concerns about that or would rather me do something a little bit different, split it up, you can let me know in the comments. But I know there's a lot of people who can't play college football, and I don't want to continue to push that throughout the entire season when NBA is here. And I know NBA is, for me, it's one of the most popular sports throughout the year. This is like peak season for our Discord usually, so I'm super excited about it. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think about that as well. Talking about free picks from yesterday, I gave this slip for free. DeAndre Swift with James Cook boost on parlay play. The payout on it wasn't very high. I did this one as a safe play. It cashed. And then the other slip I gave for free was Bijan Robinson with Taylor from the punter for the Bears. Bijan Robinson cashed super easy. If you guys took that play, you could have played it with whatever. And that was super free. Cashed in the first quarter with an 80-yard touchdown run. I think it was the first quarter. It could have been quarter 2. But regardless, he cashed it very, very early in the game. And then Taylor, man, the Commanders couldn't stop anything. So he ended up with 2 punts. Both punts were in the second half. They didn't even punt in the first half, which is crazy to me. But Taylor ended up chalking us on this slip. So that $800 slip was a big X, unfortunately. Hopefully, today's free picks, we can cash both slips. I do have a couple slips already locked in for you guys. One is going to be on Underdog. I'm probably going to relock it in on Parlay Play for you. And then the other is on Prizepicks, so you guys get 2 different slips for college football. That being said, before we jump into any of our picks, I do want to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If this video gets 250 likes, I'll pick a random comment down from the comments to win a free month of VIP. So make sure you guys drop a like. Drop a comment. You got to be a subscriber to win. So if you aren't subbed, hit that sub button. We're about to hit 36,000 subscribers. Super thankful for every single one of you guys. Even if you're a hater, I'm still thankful for you. Appreciate all of you. And let's go ahead and pick our winner. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for, drum roll, Hoodstar Harv, who said Mayhem Monday. Well, Hoodsta Harv. Make sure you send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. Hope you had a great Monday, my man. And yeah, appreciate the comment. So if you guys do want to join our Discord, there's going to be 3 options now on our WAP. There's the free option, which you guys don't have to go on WAP to join the Discord for free. It's just there for I have it here in case somebody finds us on WAP. They can join the Discord for free if they want. But for the YouTube guys, it's probably going to be easier for you guys just to directly click the Discord link from the description down below. But there's going to be our regular VIP now, and then there's our Elite VIP. So Elite VIP gets everything regular VIP gets. VIP gets every single play that I post. So Elite VIP does not get more picks. That's not how this works. This is more of a mentorship on managing your bankroll. So if you guys want to learn how to make money, how to manage your bankroll, things like that, you're going to have separate chats. I'm going to do live streams each week. We'll answer questions. We'll find some live plays. There might be some community plays that we build together that regular VIP doesn't get. But overall, regular VIP is going to be where majority of people are going to go. But I am saying this Elite option is there for the ones who want to join. If you're an OG member who's been in here for a while and we've talked about it in the chat, then that is available now. I just haven't pushed it in the Discord just yet. But let's go ahead and jump into these plays, guys. So we got 3 games today. We got New Mexico State taking on Liberty playing at home. We got Arkansas State taking on South Alabama at home. And then we got the Florida International Panthers taking on Western Kentucky in Western Kentucky. So we got 2 projected very high-scoring games, and one game that could potentially be high-scoring with Liberty and New Mexico State. In terms of player props, the 2 that I lean for right now is going to be Western Kentucky versus Florida International, and then the Arkansas State versus South Alabama. I think these are two very, very good games to target, and I want to talk about these games. So let's talk about the first game. We got Arkansas State versus South Alabama. I don't know why I had this pulled up. I didn't even play Dickens. Okay. All right, we got everything reset to 0. Sorry, I apologize. But looking at this game, we got South Alabama minus 257 odd favorites right now at home. The spread on this game is sitting at 7.55 in favor of South Alabama. Obviously, the total on this game is at 58.5. Looking at public betting, you got 69% of the money on South Alabama. 44% of the money on South Alabama to cover the spread, and then you also have 81% of the money on the under 58.5 total. Now, why do I show you guys these public bets? Because I don't know if some people probably think this is pointless and stupid. It's really not, guys. Even if you're going to lean in favor where the money's at, this matters. This really does matter, and I'm telling you right now, if you actually pay attention to some of these lines, when you see upsets, a lot of the time a lot of money's on the team that gets upset. So just remember that. I'm not saying things are rigged or anything like that. I'm just saying, just pay attention to the money sometimes. If it's 99% on one team, I'm probably not going to take that team just because the entire public is on it, and a lot of money could be made if they lose. So just throwing that out there. So I take a look at the money and everything anyways. 50-50 bets don't bother me at all. 81% of the money on the under on this total. That doesn't really affect me too much. I'm probably not going to play the total anyway, and if I saw this 81%, it wouldn't. I'm not going to say I wouldn't take the under just because there's a lot of money on it, but I'm just saying I pay attention to it. I just like to look at it when I'm making my decisions. I'm looking at these two teams, 2025 data. Arkansas, not looking too good, man. They are 2-4 so far this season. Their only wins versus Texas State and then the opening game of the season. So they barely won their last game. It was 31-30. It was a shootout. Looking at South Alabama having another horrible season. So they are, or a horrible season so far. They are 1-5. They won their opening game 38-21. Maybe looked strong, and then it was just a series of losses. Coastal Carolina, Auburn. I would obviously take Auburn to win that game. Tulane. Close game versus Tulane. Got whooped by Coastal Carolina. Troy just beat them 31-24. South Alabama needs a win here tonight. And this is at home. They're the better team in my opinion, and I'm leaning for South Alabama to get this dub. That being said, taking a look at these two teams. So Arkansas State's averaging 362 yards per game on offense. They're getting 119 rushing yards per game and then 243 passing yards. Looking at South Alabama's defense, they give up 371 yards per on offense per game. And looking at this, they're giving up over 200 rushing yards per game. So if you wanted to target a running back, Arkansas State's running back might be the move here because South Alabama struggles to stop that run. If you look at their passing defense, they're not giving up very many passing yards. You do have to look at the teams they played. Maybe they haven't played against a lot of passing offenses, but maybe they have. So I haven't broken down every single team they played and how many yards per game they're throwing and things like that. I didn't look that far into these small college games because I'll be honest with you, frankly, sometimes it doesn't even matter because these smaller teams can be a little bit wishy-washy when you're betting on them sometimes. So I recommend playing light on these games if you do. We're due for a good game, a good day on these small slates, but I do think that the running back for Arkansas State should have a good game versus South Alabama. Now, looking at South Alabama's side of the things, offensively, they're getting 380.5 yards per offense per game. They're rushing for 202 yards per game. And not that they played any stellar defenses or anything like that, but they have been running it up with the rushing yards. And then looking at the passing yards, they're averaging 178, so they're running for far more than they're passing the ball. They run at like a 61% rate. They're going to be running the ball a lot, and you guys will see some plays that I take here in a minute in terms of these stats when we go to our player props. Now, looking at the defense for Arkansas State, they're giving up 474 yards, one of the worst defenses in the nation right now, giving up over 200 rushing yards per game and to almost 300 passing yards. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the throw. Obviously, they're probably going to be their whole goal is going to be stop the run, and I don't think it's going to happen. So that being said, rushing yards for South Alabama is going to be another good play in my opinion. Their quarterback's probably not going to have to air the ball out very much just because I think they keep the lead. I think they win this game pretty easy. I'm not going to say easily, but I think they win this game, and I do think that the rushing yards for South Alabama is going to be another good play. Looking at points and stuff like that, they're averaging 25 points per game on offense. The other team gives up 32 points per game on defense. And then on the other side of things, you can look at the offense for Arkansas State, getting 23 points per game on offense, and then South Alabama gives up 32. So that's around, you're looking at 50-something points per game on offense. If you average it out, the total is sitting at 58.5. I feel like that's why this percent of money is all on the under. But with these weak teams, man, 2 weak defenses, I don't know that this game stays under, so that's why I'm not going to touch it. It wouldn't surprise me if we had a 37-30 game or something like that went over 60. So remember what happened last week with some of these smaller teams. We had some 80 and 90-point games. So be careful with the under if you take the under. But obviously, majority of the population thinks it stays under, and I can see the reasoning for that. So jumping into the last game that I'm going to talk about on this slate, the second one, it's going to be Florida International taking on Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky minus 355 favorites at home. Florida International are plus 10.5 on the spread. So 10.5-point spread with a total sitting at 55.5. Looking at public betting, you got 96% of the money on Western Kentucky. This is one of those I'm talking about that could be wishy-washy because Western Kentucky, even though they're 5-1, 3-0, they're not like some powerhouse team by any means. They can definitely lose a game. Now, do I think they lose this game? No. Money line at minus 355. I don't think this is a spot to where they just take an L. And then looking at them at minus 10.5 on the spread, 51% of the money on them covering this spread. So I don't know how I feel about the spread. We're at 10.5. It's a little bit high. And if you look at the total, 55.5, 88% of the money on the over on this total. So let's take a look at these two teams so far this season. Florida International are 2-3 on the season, 40% win rate. Just lost versus Connecticut and Delaware. They got their butt whooped by Delaware, 38-16. Look at Western Kentucky. They beat Delaware at Delaware. Florida International lost at home by a large margin, and then Western Kentucky just beat Delaware on the road in Delaware, 27-24. So Western Kentucky got that massive win that Florida International could not get. Western Kentucky 5-1, man. They've only lost to Toledo. They got whooped by Toledo. Toledo, obviously, strong offense, not a strong defense, but that game ended up being a 66-point total. Looking at Western Kentucky, I think that their schedule has been probably a little bit weaker than Florida International's only because of the Penn State game, but that game is one of the only ones that Florida International's played that was tough. So I don't think that their schedule is just so much harder that it makes that much of a difference. But regardless, man, I just think that Western Kentucky's a far better team. I think that they win this game, and I'm going to make a I'll show you guys a teaser here in a minute. But let's talk about the stats offensively and defensively for these teams. So Florida International getting 364 yards per game on offense. 84th ranked offense in the league right now, or in the nation. Looking at their rush yards versus pass yards, they're running the ball far more than they're passing the ball in terms of percentage. And then they're running the ball for 175 yards per game, passing the ball for 188. And you got to think they're losing every single game. So they do like to run the ball a lot. Western Kentucky's rush defense is a non-existent. 123rd in the league, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league right now, giving up 196 rushing yards per game. Looking at their pass defense, decent pass defense, ranked 50th, giving up less than 200 yards per game passing the ball. But looking at Florida International, passing the ball doesn't seem to be something they want to do anyway, so I don't think that this is going to matter a whole lot. Obviously, it does. They're going to have to throw the ball, but majority of their plays or the majority of their success is probably going to be on the ground. Looking at Western Kentucky's offense, they're getting 430 yards per game on offense. Top 50 offense, getting 123 rushing yards per game, and then 306 passing yards per game. They have been airing the ball out. I think today's another good day for that. If you look at Florida International's defense, they give up 145 rush yards, then they give up 275 pass yards. One of the worst passing defenses in the nation. So this is another spot where McIver probably shines through the air, and I like that play for him as well, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. So that being said, guys, this game's probably going to be pretty high scoring, but the total on this game is still kind of high at 55. So I'm going to make the teaser pop up on the screen. The teaser is up right now. And why do I like this teaser? So what we are taking Western Kentucky minus 3.5. And let me confirm this because I can't see it right now. So, yeah, or minus 3. Western Kentucky is minus 3 right now, so they got to win by more than a field goal. And then the total on this game is under 63. So why am I taking the under on this game? Let's talk about it for just a minute. Florida International likes to run the ball. Even when they're losing, they run the ball a lot. Western Kentucky's probably going to have a good lead, in my opinion. I think Western Kentucky is able to milk the clock. I think Florida International running the ball is going to milk the clock. And if you look at how these teams average on offense, so Defensively, they give up 32 points. Offensively, Western Kentucky gets 34 points. So I think Western Kentucky scores a lot. The other side of things, Florida International is only scoring 21.2 points per game on average, and then Western Kentucky's giving up 23 points per game on average. So if you take these averages, let's just take the exact numbers, 34 and 21, you're under that total by a pretty large margin. They still have to get 10 more points for that to go under. So or for it to go over, I mean. So based off averages, based off things like that, I don't think Florida International is just going to run all over Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky knows we stop the run, we're going to be good to go. And I think Florida International knows if we want to win, we got to run the ball. So running the ball, they're going to milk more clock. Western Kentucky, I think, they're pretty explosive. Maybe they don't use a lot of clock on their drives, but I think they use enough to where this game stays under 63. So that's what I ended up taking. You guys can see $500 on this play if you guys do want to tell that play. It is there. I do have another teaser locked in for Arkansas, South Alabama. If you guys want to get it, it's in the Discord. But let's go ahead and jump into some player props, guys. Now, before we do that, I do want to say, if you guys do want to get a free month of VIP, you can get a free month by signing up to any of our partnered apps. That is Parlay Play, Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Better, Novig, and Dabble. You can get up to 7 full months of VIP for free by signing up with those 7 apps. Just let me know on Discord. I will get you guys added for 1 month for each one you sign up for, and I do appreciate all of you. But let's go ahead and jump into these picks, guys. So we're going to jump into slip number 1. So the first one that I have is going to be for our man Cantrell Bullock. So we're going to take Bullock, the South Alabama running back, and I'm going to take him to get over 49.5 rush yards, and you'll see who I paired him with here in a minute. So you guys are going to look at this and be like, 49.5 for him? That is absolutely crazy. You bought this down so much, and I did buy this down so much, and you guys are more than welcome to play this a little bit higher, and I may end up playing it a little bit higher myself. So I'm going to make a slip pop up on the screen where I'm going to show you guys a slip that I locked in on Prizepicks. So this is $100 to win 200. It is loading right now. If it'll actually load, we'll find out. Come on. All right, well, we'll look at the stats and then go back to that. But anyways, he's averaging 82.67 rushing yards per game right now. His line is sitting at 87.5 or something like that. So his line is very, very high. They're going to be able to run the ball pretty easy. South Alabama runs the ball 61% of the time. You can see this. And you can come look at Cantrell Bullock. He's getting 40% of the rush share with over 108 rushing attempts so far this season. Head-to-head data, he had 66 his last game versus Arkansas State. That was last year, and he ended up having 13 rush attempts. His rush attempts this season, he's averaging 18 per game. He has a couple of games where he's getting 11, 13, 16. It really just depends on how the game's going script-wise. But if you look at Arkansas State, we've already talked about it. One of the worst defenses in the league to stop the run. Give it up over 212 rushing yards per game, which is absolutely crazy. So Cantrell Bullock should have a great game. I expect him to run it up. You can take his number a little bit higher if you want. This is what I ended up locking in. I locked this in last night around midnight. You can see it was posted. I took Bullock with Keyshawn Owens, which is the FIU running back. So we took him at 49.5. Realistically, I would take him higher than that. I'm going to lock it in higher if he's on parlay play. So Bullock, I'm probably going to play him at 79.5. I'm going to take this line just to be a little bit riskier. Maybe 69.5, we can get that. Yeah, we'll do 69.5, buy it down a little bit more. Even at 69.5, he's cashed that pretty consistently this season. Cashing it in 4 of 6 games, barely going under that one game. That was versus Auburn. They're going against the non-existent rushing defense in a game that they should win, so they should be in the lead, so they should be able to just kind of milk the clock even more. So I like this play for Cantrell, and I'm going to be locking him in. You guys can see who we paired him with, Keyshawn Owens, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So that is going to be pick number 1. We'll go ahead and pull up Keyshawn Owens, the FIU running back, and we're going to be taking him over 68.5 rushing yards. And we can already talk about, or we can go ahead and talk about them. They do run the ball 50% of the time, pass the ball 50% of the time. So I did say they run the ball more, but that's not entirely true. I guess the better way to say that is they have a lot more success on the ground. So they're going against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. They give up 195.8 rushing yards per game in Western Kentucky. I think that's going to be the majority of the way they move the ball. Our man Keyshawn Owens had 173 rushing yards versus FAU earlier. Just had a 67 versus Connecticut, 74 versus Delaware. He's consistently cashed this line 4 out of 5 games. He's averaging 15 rush attempts per game. He had 19 in that game versus FAU. You can come down here and look at the snaps he's getting. He's getting 41.1% of the rush share, and I do think they have success on the ground today. So I do think he gets to 68.5. If you want to buy him down, if you want to play we can play this slip a little bit different. So we could buy Cantrell up and then Keyshawn down and play the same slip, but have a different, some different angles on it, because I think both of them can actually cash their original line. So let's pull up Keyshawn Owens. And they don't have anything for him. It's kind of tragic, man. So I can't play this on parlay play right now, which is pretty bad. Is he still on Prizepicks? Let's make sure. Rush yards, Keyshawn Owens. Yeah, he's still on Prizepicks, so I don't know why he's not on parlay play. He will be on parlay play, and I'm probably going to end up taking him for like 49.5 for him, maybe on parlay play or something like that, and it still give us a double up probably, or close to a double up, and we could play it that way. But anyways, let me go ahead and lock a random slip in because I have the $5 free bet, which doesn't mean anything to me. And I'm just going to use that $5 there. I mean, Vasco should get 175 anyway. But let's go ahead and pull up the play we just had. So Bullock at 69.5. And then we'll find another slip for this as well and lock in live. So Keyshawn Owens was pick number 2. I think he has a good game if you want to tell it. If you want to fade that one, you can. If there's any play you don't like, just fade it, guys. You don't have to play everything I do. Jumping into the next pick of the day, we had McIver. So I'm taking McIver, which is the Western Kentucky quarterback. And we're taking him to go over passing yards. Now, his line is sitting at 290. I bought him down to 250. This is what I played on not parlay play, but on underdog. I'm probably going to pair him right here with Bullock. I think that would be another way to get this. We can kind of mix this up a little bit. So 249.5. This does give us a 1.8x. Not a very good payout on this. What about 1.5 passing TDs? Same payout. We'll play around with this. We'll play around with this slip on parlay play. But I actually ended up running this slip on underdog. So you'll see I took McIver at 249.5. We'll look at the same plays over here on Prizepicks and see if you can get the same value as underdog allows, and I'll go ahead and pull up the underdog slip for you if you guys want to play on underdog. And I did this as a profit boost, so they give you that 30% profit boost. This is what I locked in, and of course it's going to take 45 minutes to load this again for whatever reason. I don't know why my internet's being slow right now, but I don't even think it's my internet. I think it's Discord's images opening. But anyways, McIver's going against one of the worst passing defenses in the league. They give up 276 passing yards per game. They throw the ball 58% of the time. Western Kentucky is a pass-first offense. They love to throw the ball. McIver is going to have all the opportunities in the world. As long as he can make the passes, as long as he can get some protection, he's going to be able to cash this line, in my opinion. 250 is not high. He's cashed it 3 of 6 games this season so far, and some of these games, they really didn't even need to throw the ball. So I think he has a good game. Once again, McIver, we played him versus MOSU, and we cashed that line at 317. I'm pretty sure that's what we did. I'm on free picks. I can't remember exactly, but I do like McIver again today. Looking at this is what we played on underdog. It's a $50 max, 30% profit boost, 50 to win 103. I put McIver 249.5, and then I bought Bishop Davenport. So this is going to be the South Alabama quarterback. I took him under 224.5. So we bought it up and took the under. So if we look at Davenport here, told you guys, I think South Alabama has a ton of success on the ground, going against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, but they're also going against one of the worst passing defenses in the league as well. But South Alabama, we looked at, they pass the ball 39% of the time. They're going to run the ball first. If they have success running the ball, that's what they're going to do. 224.5, you can't look at it here, or I can go to custom, I believe. So under. Hit done. He's been under at 4 or 5 games, or 5 of 6 games this season. He only went over 1 game versus Tulane, and that was a game they lost, so they had to pretty much air the ball out. I told you, I think they're playing from ahead. I don't think they're going to need to throw the ball here. Head-to-head, he didn't play last year versus Arkansas State. But anyways, Bishop Davenport, I like this play, man. If you don't want to play under 224.5, I don't think his under 190.5 is that bad either, because I think they still run the ball majority of the time. So you could take Bishop Davenport under original line if you want. If he's on here. Right here, it's 196.5. You can play these for a 2.25x. I don't love the 196.5. I'm not going to lie. That one does get a little bit sweaty because they don't have much of a passing defense, but I don't think they need to throw the ball. That's the only thing here is I think they win on the ground. So can't take the under. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to take Contrell Bullock, and I'm going to take him with Davenport. And I can't do that anyway. We'll play it with McIver. I'll buy McIver really, really low. Just because I don't want to tell you guys to potentially play something. And I'm not saying this is a risky one. Bishop Davenport at 196 is risky. 225 is pretty good. I feel pretty safe and pretty confident with that one. This one gets a little bit tougher. This is more of a correlated play. If you take the rushing over and the underpassing, you're kind of going for that game script. If South Alabama starts losing, Bishop Davenport's probably going to go over. If it's a game where they're struggling, he's probably going to go over. So you got to remember that, especially if they can't move the ball on the ground. But based off statistics and what I think is going to happen, South Alabama should be able to move the ball on the ground. So I'm going to take him over like 200 pass yards. This isn't increasing payout by much. It's just allowing us to play the slip. I'm going to put 250 to win 690 right there. So taking that risk there, if you want to lock it in, you can. Track picks, you guys can see we did lock it in live. I'm going to hit refresh so you guys know it's legit. McIver, Bullock, and Davenport, I've got this locked in. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to leave it going. I'm giving you guys the slips. You guys saw the Prizepick slip already. But Bishop, Davenport, and McIver on underdog. I locked this in for a profit boost to give us the double up if you want to play it. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Those are the 4 picks that I locked in. If you like them, play them. If you don't like them, fade them. This is a small college football slate, so yeah, I'm kind of discounting these lines or moving these lines around to see what I like. But that's the name of the game, guys. You don't have to play just a regular line every single time. And some people don't like these discounted lines, and that's okay. You can do what you want. If you want a better higher payout, take MacGyver right here, and you can get your 3x. But for me, if I bought him down to 250 for 2.25x, I like the odds here, especially on a play that might be sweaty for McIver getting 300. So that's what I got for today. Like I said, leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in the next one.